Pakistan summons U.S. ambassador over Trump tweet. The U.S. president used his first tweet of 2018 to tear into Islamabad. Pakistan has summoned the U.S. ambassador in response to a tweet U.S. President Donald Trump sent in which he threatened to cut aid over lies about militancy, in a rare public rebuke. Ambassador David Hale was asked to go to the Foreign Office in Islamabad last night, after the Pakistani capital responded angrily to Trump's allegations that it provided safe havens for militants, in the latest spat to rock their alliance. A U.S. Embassy spokesman today confirmed Hale met officials, but added, "We don't have any comment on the substance of the meeting." There was no immediate response from Foreign Office officials. Trump used his first tweet of 2018 to tear into Islamabad. The United States has foolishly given Pakistan more than $33 billion in aid over the last 15 years, and they have given us nothing but lies, deceit, thinking of our leaders as fools, Trump said in the early morning New Year's Day tweet. They give safe haven to the terrorists we hunt in Afghanistan, with little help, no more. Pakistan hit back swiftly, saying it had done much for the United States, helping it to decimate al-Qaeda, while getting only invective mistrust in return in angry comments from its foreign and defense ministers. Islamabad has repeatedly denied the accusations of turning a blind eye to militancy, lambasting the U.S. for ignoring the thousands who have been killed on its soil and the billions spent fighting extremists. September 11. After the September 11 terror attacks in the U.S. in 2001, Washington forged a strategic alliance with Islamabad to help in its fight against militancy. However, U.S. leaders have often complained that Pakistan, long accused by Washington and Kabul of supporting the Taliban, has done too little to help. Of foremost concern is Islamabad's attitude toward the powerful Haqqani network, whose leader Sirajuddin Haqqani is the deputy leader of the Afghan Taliban. The group is accused of some of the most lethal attacks on U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and was dubbed by America's former top military officer Mike Mullen as a veritable arm of Pakistani intelligence. For many years it found safe haven in Pakistan's semi-autonomous northwestern tribal areas. However, the Pakistani military launched an operation there in 2014 and now insists it has eradicated all safe havens in the country. US-Pakistani ties, long contentious, have taken a nosedive under Trump, who first signaled that Washington was reassessing the fractious relationship in August, when he accused Islamabad of harboring agents of chaos. The remarks triggered a series of high-level diplomatic meetings in the U.S. and Pakistan, but Islamabad has given few signs of concessions. The Trump administration told Congress in August it was weighing whether to withhold $255 million, about €212 million in earmarked aid to Islamabad over its failure to crack down more effectively on terror groups in Pakistan. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here. Very terrorists that we are fighting, but that will have to change, and that will change immediately. No partnership can survive a country's harboring of militants and terrorists who target U.S. service members and officials. It is time for Pakistan to demonstrate its commitment to civilization, order, and to peace, he had said earlier. But, as expected, Pakistan, with China by its side, cared little. Trump's New Year tweet and the ensuing $225 billion reduction in aid to Islamabad was very much on the cards. Interestingly, Pakistan was ranked the 10th most failed state in the world by Foreign Policy magazine in 2010, but the US, China and Saudi Arabia wouldn't let it sink even though Pakistan is the world's largest incubator of terrorism. More significantly, the entry of the People's Liberation Army PLA in Pakistan and the CPEC has also added to the geopolitical complexities of the region. The U.S. would also worry about the strategic ambitions of China, both in the Indian Ocean region, and also in Afghanistan. The emergence of some 10,000 Islamic State fighters will fuel the boiling pot further. Pakistan's military continues to ride the terror tiger in sync with multiple terrorist organizations running their private armies with support from IC, and tacitly from China. It's because of this that a radical mullah like Hafiz Saeed has been let loose. Recently, On November 26, 2017, the Pakistan government, on behalf of the country's military, abjectly surrendered to protesters in Islamabad through a 6-point agreement. The violence in Balochistan has gone up exponentially, with increased casualties being inflicted on the native population by the Pakistan army. But despite the genocide being carried out, China gifted helicopter gunships to Pakistan, which the latter used extensively in Balochistan. Already, French and Algerian origin Islamic State cadre from Syria are confirmed to be fighting in Afghanistan. Some 10,000 Islamic State cadre have reportedly surfaced in Afghanistan, and Russia has beefed up its strength in Tajikistan with tanks and armored carriers under the CSTO agreement. As more cadres head to the AfPak region, the terrorists would attempt to target South Asia next. To India's east, Pakistani national Ata-Ullah heads the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army (ARSA) in Myanmar, which is also actively supported by Pakistan's IC and terrorist organizations like the Lashkar-e-Taiba. As per recent reports, Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar, a leader of UN-designated terrorist group Jaish-e-Mohammed, have joined hands to target India. China's malevolent intentions and double standards towards terrorism have been amply visible, by it repeatedly vetoing the move to designate Masood Azhar as a terrorist at the United Nations. Pakistan will face a terror backlash, without doubt, but the stranglehold the military has over the country is growing stronger by the day. It has now infiltrated every sector of the country, both government and non-government. In order to retain this power and money, the military ensures that Pakistan continues its state policy of terror against neighbors India and Afghanistan. With its strategic ambitions, China will play the binding factor for Pakistan, even as it practically absorbs the latter as its own province. At the same time, the argument for fragmenting Pakistan has been on the Western table since the country's birth in 1947. The most popular approach seems to be to let Afghanistan absorb Pakistan's northwest frontier province NWFP and federally administered tribal areas FATA, which would also unite Pashtun tribes, as mentioned by Michael Hughes. What the future holds for the region is anybody's guess, but the Durrani line imposed by the British and not recognized by Afghanistan is likely to see more violence on both sides. Plans to link CPEC to Afghanistan will also attract more terror and violence. President Trump's New Year tweet indirectly places Pakistan in the category of a terrorist state. It is unlikely that India will designate Pakistan a terrorist state when it has not even withdrawn the most favored nation status given several years ago. But India must focus on the fact that the Pakistani military will up the ante of terror attacks on India to divert attention from the country's internal happenings. This is a war India must be fully prepared for, not only defensively but also taking into enemy territory. The author is a retired Lieutenant General of the Indian Army. Thank you for watching. For the follow-up, subscribe to the channel yourself here.